Arc Raiders has a bunch of changes that you should know about before launch, and if you've never played the game, it's important that you know that the upcoming Server Slam playtest starting on the 17th will also differ significantly from the full game. You need to know these key differences before you play so that you understand that the Server Slam is effectively a demo version of the full game. Let's dive into the details. If this is your first time here, I'm a member of Embark Studio's Content Creator Program. They don't sponsor this particular video, and I can say whatever I like here, but I've tagged it as a promotion to keep that relationship transparent. Before we look at the changes since Tech Test 2 and the Server Slam specifics, let's briefly revisit the pre-order trailer. That video truly is the gift that keeps giving. In a recent video, I discussed these objects, which I believe are a swarm of Arc machines, perhaps associated with the Queen. Viewer Obey pointed out something I had seen but didn't properly mention, and their comment has convinced me to discuss it. As the Raider runs past what I'll assume is the Queen, what might be one of the drones that could be part of the drone swarm moves past them here, and even seems to rotate around to track the Raider. You can see what looks like an antenna here and something on the front that might be a weapon, maybe the equivalent of a light pistol. Its shape is reminiscent of one of the attack drones from the movie Oblivion starring Tom Cruise, but much smaller. Will we see these during the Server Slam starting October 17? A recent dev blog post suggests we might see a visit from the Queen, so it is possible. However, my bet is that the drone swarm event will be held back for the full release on October 30. Anyhow, let's move on to the changes we can expect for Arc Raiders since Tech Test 2. These were covered in a dev blog post from Alexander Grondel, the executive producer. I've linked that post below. I know other videos have covered this, so I'll focus mainly on the gameplay changes here. First, the terrifying four-legged Arc machine, previously known as the Bison, has been renamed to the Leaper. Personally, I dislike this change. Renaming the Bison to the Leaper kind of removes all mystery and curious narrative from its name. I think players would have very quickly figured out that it leaps anyway. Even if its movement isn't like that of an actual bison, an interesting narrative could have easily explained the odd name later on. I think Leaper is kind of generic and relatively uninteresting. We also know that the Bastion variant with a mortar gun that we saw in the pre-order trailer is called the Bombardier. Its aiming is assisted by spotter drones that seek raiders and target designate for a lethal mortar attack. This also confirms that it wasn't a Queen missile coming in because that has a detonation delay. I think the Bombardier is going to be a fun arc to deal with. We also got extra info on unplayed maps. Raiders have also found their way to the Blue Gate, a location higher up in the mountains featuring open areas, small towns, tunnels, and underground complexes, to name a few. And there are even rumours of a place called Stella Montis, but what that is and how to get there is still unknown. New images, possibly concept art for these maps, are on Nexon's Arc Raiders website, which I've linked below. They show multiple images of underground complexes. Some points of interest look fantastic. How awesome does this container facility look, for instance? Imagine if we can move the containers to access various levels. This also looks like snow, not rain, suggesting that we might have a new weather variant. I now also wonder if the images we've seen of the Blue Gate map, which often have high mountains in the background, subtly tease the location of Stella Montis, which translates from Latin to mean Star Mountain. It could be positioned high in the mountains here, aligning with this alpine location we saw in a Tech Test 2 cinematic. Anyhow, there's plenty to speculate about for both maps. What about map variants? The variant previously known as Lush Blooms, where you find lots of fruit, helpful for training your rooster Scrappy, has been renamed to a much more sensible Harvest Season. We also have a brand new variant, Electromagnetic Storm. Now this might relate to an old teaser showing lightning strikes. Rolling thunder during this event could make it harder to hear Arc and other raiders. Finally, an event called Hidden Bunkers may make previously keycard-only bunkers accessible to all, which would certainly create plenty of PvP action. New systems and monetization. Each day you'll receive a list of rotating, small, moment-to-moment challenges called feats. These ask you to destroy Arc, extract rare loot, or complete other requirements. Completing feats earns you cred, a currency used to unlock rewards through raided decks, the game's Battle Pass equivalent. As you unlock rewards, new pages become available. There will be both free and paid raided decks, and while most are permanent, some are time limited. This finally gives us a solid indication of Embark's live service monetization for Ark Raiders, which sounds fine to me. We're also getting a codex, which is fantastic for lore enthusiasts like me. This will be a growing repository of your Raiders' accumulated knowledge about Ark, people, and places in the Rust Belt. More progress unlocks more entries. Ark Raiders lore will definitely feature in future videos from me. As previously mentioned, I'm expecting lots of changes to the skill tree and weapon balancing, but we'll likely have to wait until the server slam actually starts to get specifics on those. And that moves us on to what to expect from the server slam. If you haven't played before, this playtest, starting on the 17th, will have significant differences from the launch game. You should absolutely view this playtest as only a demo version of the game. Let's power through the differences. Map access. You'll only have access to one map, Dam Battlegrounds. It's a great intro map with a variety of areas and buildings. Squad play. You can play solo or in a squad of up to 3. Matchmaking prioritizes squad versus squads and solos versus solos. However, be mindful that solos might occasionally encounter duos or casual squads formed on the fly. You can, of course, try to team up with people in-game yourself using the communications rows or VoIP, but be wary of darker intentions from other raiders. Map variants and events. You'll experience a few map variants, including the new electromagnetic storm, as well as night raids that provide better loot and a higher arc threat, and the harvester event, where the queen defends a mysterious harvester with decent loot that's made available when you solve a puzzle in the harvester's interior. Quests. Traders will offer a selection of early quests. More advanced quests are held back for launch. Equipment. Early and mid-tier equipment will be available. Some items will be locked until launch. Blueprints. Blueprints, formerly known as recipes, are found topside or awarded. These expand your ability to craft and modify. All blueprints can be found, but the highest tier ones won't be craftable during the server slam. Raider decks. You'll only be able to test the Raider deck functionality with just a single page of items to unlock. Crafting. In your Raider Workshop, basic crafting stations, which are your weapon, equipment, and medical benches, will be available. Bench upgrades aren't possible during the server slam, meaning you won't be able to craft some items, like certain grenades, and you'll have to find them or purchase them from traders. Some systems will be visible but not active during the server slam. These include expeditions, the voluntary wipe system, which is part of long-term projects. Completing these sees your raider permanently leave the Rust Belt, resulting in some progress resets, but key rewards carry over. Trials, a proving ground for seasoned raiders where completing challenges and returning safely allows you to gain a place on a leaderboard and earn seasonal rewards. You'll wait for launch to climb these ranks. And the Codex, the growing archive of your raiders' accumulated knowledge where you collect stories, people, and places. Server Slam progress. All progress made during the server slam, which includes cosmetics, your raiders level, and so on, will not carry over to launch. However, participants will receive the Server Slammer backpack, which is obtainable at launch. Now, to get that, you just connect the Embark ID account you played with via the Embark portal. So, I think you should view the server slam as an appetizer for the full game. If you keep it in that context, I think you'll put the playtest into a good perspective. I'll be streaming on Twitch and YouTube throughout the event, so please stop by to say g'day. Thanks for watching this video to the end. A big thank you to my channel members, especially my Black Tier members TJ and Thoronike17, and to Embark Studios for having me as part of their content creator program. Do the usual YouTube business if you want to see more videos from me from now on. Come and join our Dystopia Discord. There's a link in the video description to hang out or find a squad to play with. Give a like or comment as you see fit and enjoy the rest of your day. Kia kaha. Stay strong.
Everybody knows the world ain't right. Down on your knees, get up and fight.